pillar that calls out a winning culture, which is to ensure that we have an inclusive, equitable, and diverse, performance-driven work environment. I tell people, first off, just do some self-work. It's hard, so just be ready. So that's the first thing I tell people. But I always say that when you have to build some trust, right? So if I look back on my Diversio journey, I didn't have to be sold. I already knew we had to measure, we had to do these things. But for everybody else, we had to build a level of trust to let them know that their data is going to be safe with Diversio, which is a great why. It was so personal, right? Why we got to know Anya and Laura very personally. So we felt that, you know, we believed in the work that they were doing. So we were always very strong in our communication to folks that your data is going to be safe with Diversio. It's not going to be shared. It's for us to, you know, start getting some benchmark data out there so that, you know, as an organizations as a whole in corporate Canada, and now of course the US, all over the world actually, we're looking at, you know, measuring together and knowing that we can push each other to do better. What I would say is, you know, we have to be able to communicate well when you're rolling out this survey, why you're doing what you're doing, why it's important for us to do it, and sort of also relate it back to your overall business strategic goals. And so I would say it's really, really important to not make EDI a silo, but try really hard to embed it into your business priorities so that we can just sustain the work, because it's not a one and done, as we know, and it's not up to me, which is what I've been pledging everybody. It's not up to the EDI lead in your organization, DEI lead, whatever you call it, idea person. It's not for them to do it. We're resourced, we can connect you, absolutely. But every leader, every head of every division in every organization needs to know how important it is and how to really strategically move it towards their business priorities. So for example, if we're thinking supplier diversity, right? Who are your suppliers? Who are your vendors? How are you holding them accountable for their equity work and inclusivity work? And, you know, just tie it all into what you're doing. And, you know, in a corporate world, we're also fast paced, right? Everybody's trying to get quick, trying to get ahead. And that's all great. But EDI means taking time. It's a very mindful thing, equity, diversity, and inclusion. We have to take our time. And what people tend to forget is no matter how much, sophisticated we get with technology, behind everything is a human being, an actual human being. And human beings, it's about emotion, it's about connection. So you have to stop sometimes and ask the question, Layla, how are you doing today? How are you showing up? What can I do to help you? Simple as hell, but these are things that actually spur inclusivity. And sometimes our leaders forget, and we got to remind them that your employees aren't machines. You need to check in, you need to stop, you need to pause. So we had to find that time to pause.